My brothers and sisters in Islam, subhanallah, one of the matters that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam feed the most for the ummah is that they begin to compete with one another in worldly related matters. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam feed this for the ummah. In a hadith, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, وَلَكِنِّي أَخْشَى عَلَيْكُمُ الدُّنْيَا أَن تَنَافَسُوهَا. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I fear for you people this worldly life, that you compete with one another for it. Why is competing and chasing after this dunya condemned? You know why? Because it leads to jealousy. People become jealous of each other. It leads to hatred. People kill one another over this worldly life. It leads to a person being discontent, displeased with the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person may belittle the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jal has given him in this worldly life. Competition and chasing this dunya, it makes a person forget the afterlife and preparation for the afterlife. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, ولكني أخشى أن تبسط عليكم الدنيا كما بسطت على من كان قبلكم فتنافسوها كما تنافسوها فتهلككم كما أهلكتهم. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, I fear that this worldly life would open up for you all. And as a result, you will compete with one another for it, and it will destroy you like it destroyed those before you. You see, chasing this worldly life and competing with one another for this worldly life, it will end up destroying people just like it destroyed those nations before us. So my brothers and sisters in Islam, this world has given its notice and it has announced its departure, and it is rushing towards the end of days. And my brothers and sisters in Islam, wallahi, nothing remains of this worldly life except a small portion, which is like the little leftover drink that remains at the bottom of a container, in where the owner tries to gather the final drops that are in the container. That's what is remaining of this worldly life. And indeed, we are all going to be transferred from this worldly life to a place where there is no end, from this life to the afterlife. So the advice is, carry with you the best of deeds. Carry with you righteous deeds. Because the hellfire is a serious matter. And the paradise is a serious matter as well. And the paradise is reserved for those who believed in Allah Azza wa Jal and acted righteously with sincerity and honesty in their relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal. And the hellfire has been prepared for those who are heedless, for those who turned away from Allah Azza wa Jal and from the purpose of life and from the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters in Islam, I want to conclude my talk with you with a beautiful hadith that explains to us the nature of the Sahaba and how they would compete with one another. So I spoke to you at the very beginning about competition concerning worldly related matters. There is energy in each and every single one of us to compete with others in worldly related matters. Whether it's competing in the way we dress, or competing in our wealth, or competing with one another concerning our health, whatever the case may be, that energy of competing with others is there, it's in our hearts. But most people use it for the wrong reason, for the wrong cause. Competition with one another is healthy, but if it was related in matters of the afterlife, that is what is pleasing to Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran, many times, He instructs us to compete with one another in goodness to the paradise. He said, وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. When He described something of the paradise, He said that is what the people should be competing for. He said, فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. Rush to doing good and compete with one another in doing good.